Wow, 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 ARK players. Something absolutely crazy has happened as part of the TLC voting, and this may just shake up everything. I know there's going to be some people that might be sad about this, some people that might be happy, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the voting and the donations. So we're going to be getting in with it in today's video, and if you do enjoy, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let's get in with this crazy news. So yes, last night it was announced that the Quetzal, we did it in our Community Crunch video, steps up for the second TLC pass, and I did actually expect the Therizino to be knocked off and the Quetzal to finish second, because someone dropped $2,000 on the Quetzal the other day, and that pretty much cemented it. They're very close at the top. Like when one of them gets this one big donation, it kind of cements them into the ground as the next one, and people are all doing this like perfect timing. You know, I told you, like, everything's going to be very, very scheduled in the way that they're doing this. And so the Quetzal, from that $2,000 donated, managed to get itself locked in second place. Now, like I said to you guys, you know, there's not really a difference with being locked in at first or fifth, but what the difference is getting locked in is the priority, because there's always a chance that, you know, you could be quite happy that your creature is sitting in fifth spot and you're thinking, oh, we're going to be getting 5 TLCs. Someone rich comes along, drops a huge donation, and that's it. It's the end of it. So, and another creature will win instead. So it's very, very important to get locked in, and I'm going to show you just what's about to be going crazy and potentially might win in third over the Giga. So early this morning, someone has sent a donation of $5,000 for the Ras's Extra Life page, and has put hashtag Allosaurus for those in need of a bit of a favorite dino. Now, $5,000 is 5,000 votes for the Allosaurus. Now, one, what an incredibly generous donation there as well. So huge shouts out to you for dropping such a huge donation. But that potentially, that is 5,000 votes. That could take the Allosaurus from 10th to 3rd. Generally, like, I don't know if it will go all the way up there, but with 5,000 votes and it's already in the top 10, who knows? It might actually just do that. I mean, I don't know how far apart they are. I know the Giga has got a lot and recently has been getting a lot of votes, so maybe it might slip into 5th or 4th. But it's made me think, I reckon this could push the Megalosaurus off the Megalosaurus has been in the top two, well, has been in the top whatever since the beginning of this. And it was number 1, then it has dropped over time, but literally for months, like over a month now, it's been in that top spot. And this is a pretty big chance that the Megalosaurus might fall out and drop to 6th. I saw, I think it was GP that said on X, going on to say, like, you know, wildcard, we're gonna need a 6th TLC at this rate, but because they, you know, were already smashing it, I just can't see them opening another one, because I don't know where they're going to fit it in, because obviously they're already going to be working on 5, and I think they would have mentioned something already, because they said the community has raised over 181,000. It's now more. I'll show you. By the way, I think this is now the record. We've broken the record for the highest donation goal we've ever raised at any Extra Life in 10 years of ARK, which is absolutely insane, and it looks like we might even hit 200k at this rate. So Allosaurus looks like it's going to jump into this top 5. Again, every time we talk Extra Life, I just have to say thank you for making us hit over our 5,000 goal, which was crazy. But if we actually, and if you want to drop a donation and you want to maybe, I don't know, like, if you still want to maybe change it and maybe save the Megalosaurus, or you'd rather say bye-bye to the Megalosaurus, you can cast your vote here. I'll leave the link to the LoadedCrysis donation page down below. Thank you for all your support. But as you can see, we are now at $187,000. And so since Wildcard posted the crunch, an extra $6,000, that's 6,000 votes have gone through. So, and obviously, you know, Ras, that was the one there where they dropped the big 5k there. Dragonheart is someone who I think is has actually dropped Fu off the top 10 list here. I think there was a lot of big donations going for Dragonheart there. And I think I saw some people putting some more votes into the Thyla. I saw 250 votes at least for the Thyla. So next Friday's actual update is going to be crazy, because the Allosaurus is clearly going to be somewhere 3rd, 4th, or 5th, because 5,000 votes is massive. Like, that is huge. So I think that it's either going to be between the Theri or the Megalosaurus that misses out. I really do. I don't think the Giga's going to miss out, and if it does, I think I would be absolutely heartbroken. But I think there's just many, many people dropping kind of like small little donos here and there, always on the Giga. And it's, you know, so it's kind of picking up these little ones here and there at quite a big rate. So it's like kind of stacking up. But yeah, guys, it's a pretty crazy time right now to be an ARK player. You know, we've had community creature votes. We've got the TLCs going on and the quests. After 10 years, by the way, the trailer, if you go back to the ARK Survival Evolved channel, the trailer is 10 years old for the quest spotlight. So after 10 years, the quest finally gets the love it deserves. But also after, because if I'm correct, I think the Allosaurus got added into the game a little bit later on. Like, it's still been like 9 years or something, but I feel like I remember it was like a patch a little bit later on, and then they added the Allosauruses, and they were all, I think it was also this around the same time as the patch Uranosaurus, I think. I'm not sure, but we're talking years ago, guys. Like, I remember the updates that I used to make when I was a kid and I was a teenager, and you know, Wildcard used to add 4 new creatures in every month, and that's the way it used to work. It was like absolutely crazy, and this was in early access, so they were still building all the creatures and adding them in, and you know, Allosaurus was one later on. So yeah, I am going to leave it up to you guys now to get on with your voting if you do plan to, because this is getting absolutely wild. I remember making a video when we were at like 18,000 raised, and it was way before any of us streamers had done our streams. And I said, I think we're going to struggle really to get to, you know, I think we'll get 2 TLCs, but I'm worried that we're going to struggle to get to the 90,000. Oh, was I wrong? We're now sitting 187,000. I did not expect us to break the record. And so overall, we're never going to jump into 2nd or 1st place because Magic the Gathering is literally flying, but we have to stay ahead of this giant bomb, you know, as a community, just to, you know, show we want to rep how good we are. I think we normally finish 3rd every single year for donations because the top 2 are normally absolutely insane. But it still just shows, you know, everyone always sort of, you know, you get comments that, you know, ARK is dead and everything like that. And yes, there might not be as many people currently playing it as there was, you know, maybe lockdowns are bad because everyone was playing ARK in lockdown. But, you know, it still shows the power of our community, that even though the player count's not as high as it has been in the past years, it's still fairly high, by the way. But we've literally smashed the record of any other year we've ever done. And then, of course, in yesterday's video, we talked about the brand new Malwyn coming to the game, and many of you guys said it's a born from an artificial evolution of the Valguero companions, infused with strange substance, which I said I think is red element. And I saw one of your comments, one of you guys commented on my video saying, Dom, can you do a video on red element? I do plan to do this on the build up to Lost Colony, only if I can get enough information on red element. I don't want to make a video just saying, you know, like, oh, red element is red element. You know, like, if I can find out a little bit of information and it kind of ties into the lore, then I'll make that video. But if not, I'll make it as soon as Lost Colony launches, because it's very, very interesting right now. I think a lot of survivors right now are just so intrigued to see what this does to creatures. And another really interesting point I've been thinking of is, do you think this red element can be used on other creatures? And if so, what does it do to them? Because maybe you can red element your Spino or your Rex or your Giga. Like, you know, who knows? This is the really interesting thing with the Malwyn and all this kind of red element infused, and everyone's just excited about it. I'm loving this kind of, like, I think Wildcard themselves have called it like Lost Colony, kind of like dark fantasy emo vibes. I know Dolly loves that kind of vibe. I mean, I've never been like a massive kind of That's a lie. That's a lie. I do kind of like dark fantasy. I mean, I just get these little TikTok things pop up sometimes of more like fantasy, you know, fantasy wizard-like stuff come up on my TikTok, and I love all of that kind of stuff. Kind of feels like kind of cozy, if that makes sense. I don't think I'll be living on Lost Colony by the sounds of things. But I do like I mean, it might just shock us, guys. Like, even though it looks like it's full of crazy, scary beast, vampires, and everything. I mean, who wants to be building? I said this in the LoadedCrysis cluster the other day. I said, who wants to be living on Lost Colony? You open the door to head out on your journeys or your travels one day, and then, well, no, you don't open it. You're sitting having dinner in your house, and then you get a knock on the door, and it's a vampire trying to invite itself in. I mean, it doesn't seem very safe, but and there's zombies around. It's a whole bit of everything going on, but this does look cool, and I know a lot of ARK players have been mentioning that this is a creature they are seriously hyped up for. Look how many eyes it's got too. But anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I will catch you in my next video, which will be tomorrow. It's only a singular upload again because obviously we did the crunch video last night, and I'll see you in the next one.